Tonight's coverage of the NFL has us on the west coast of the Sunshine State. Downtown Tampa's the spot. Raymond James Stadium. Tonight, it's on to Week 10 already, and we've got a good one in store between the Brooklyn Beats and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
Coming off lost their last time out. I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Well, Charles, you think about this defense. This week in preparation, you couldn't hide the fact from them that they're facing a team that's lost 7 in a row. You just wonder if they prepared the same way they normally do.
Yeah, that's a great question, because normally that preparation goes into what you do well on defense. What is the best thing that you do going into a game? But in this case, you might want to take all the tendencies and throw them out the window. I would expect them to throw every trick play in the book right out of the gate in order to try and get something established and get things moving.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complementary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He sets up the screen to Jones. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area. But they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
That's going to be caught. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds.
That's a big gainer on that play, and from experience I can tell you, that's where defensive backs will come into the huddle and say, guys, How about some pass rush? But you're going to say it nicely because those big guys up front, they don't like being criticized.
And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Ronald Jones, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays. And it's Ronald Jones that polishes it off with a touchdown run. Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Play action. Now it's Murray. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big connection on that one. 33 yards.
As a general manager, you're counting on your first and second round draft picks to have a big-time impact on your team. But where you make your bones, rounds 3 through 7. If you can find a few diamonds in the rough there, develop them, then you got something going, and we're seeing one right here.
Yeah, plays like that lead me to believe that they found a diamond in the rough.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Murray off play action. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. So the completion good for just 3. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Open man is Komet, the tight end. But he will have the 1st down before he's tackled at the 12.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Rolling to his right. This is caught. It's so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there.
That's a big league job there of getting out of the pocket, not panicking, and just buying himself some time. Then he made a good, accurate throw to set up 1st and goal.
And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Kyler Murray keeping it himself from a yard out. And the Beats are an extra point away from drawing level. Extra point put through by Boswell. And we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. So that drive 7 plays in length. And the play that polished it off was the touchdown run by Kyler Murray. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their 2nd drive. They are currently mired in a losing streak. Now they get the short week for the Thursday night game. Do you see that as a potential positive, or is this just more in what has been really a string of bad luck for them?
Well, to me, it comes down to leadership, and leadership's got to spin it into a positive and make it an advantage for them. Yes, we're in a losing streak. Yes, no one thinks we can win, but we have the resources we need right here in this room. Let's go ahead and play better. Let's hang together and shock the world a little bit. Put it all together, they've got a chance of coming out with a W.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on first and second down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Airing this one out for Evans. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. On the return, it's Rodgers. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. And throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards.
How about the first half he's putting together? Well over 100 yards already with that last catch. And to me, they'd be well served to keep looking his way. A number of big plays already in this one.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
Time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Beats have taken the lead. CD for them, this has just been an offensive explosion. And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Taken at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Back now comes Tampa Bay. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Here's a give to Jones running left. Powering forward. And now running right through him. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. Just the one misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rankings you want to go by, they're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me, in my little bit of rankings here, I've got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go, and we've seen teams get off to hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But unless there are a rash of injuries on this team, I'd be surprised if they aren't a 1st or a 2nd seed come playoff time.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it. And the Bucs are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Check that. We're going to Mike 52 right here. Mike 52. Right here. That's what I do. What are you doing?
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big play there on the catch and run. What a luxury to have a tight end that can not only catch it, but then can run after the catch like that.
What was the old expression back in the good old days? And they used to carry pianos on their backs when they were after they caught the football. Someone would stop and bang out a tune along the way as well. But nowadays, these guys are essentially bulked up wide receivers, and they're a full part of the passing game. And we see a lot of big plays, as we just saw there.
Mike, 55. Check 55.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Airing this one out for Evans. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest with a guy with that type of speed. You do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
On third down, here's Jones. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. And now the Tampa Bay field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10. So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in this second quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hold. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
Rodgers on the return. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Let's go.
Now Kyler Murray ready to get back under center. He's thrown for a touchdown pass, and he's run for one so far.
When you're able to watch a guy perform at a high level and do it in multiple ways, arm, legs, he really helps his team in a big way. You've got to think that they feel great about where they are in this ball game, and they feel even better about him leading their team.
Now he's hoping to put them into a better spot after this drive. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Murray, he bootlegs it, sliding out of the pocket. This will be caught. It's Samuel. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Oh, what a catch by Samuel. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
That is one heck of a catch right there. Got his eye on it the whole way and able to make the grab one-handed. Very nicely done, and for a nice chunk of yardage, too.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone, here's the Heisman Trophy winner, Murray. Flushed out right. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
2nd and 10. Here's Murray. A throw left side taken in by Kmet. And he is out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
I like the thought process. I like the design, but I think he may have waited a little too long to spot his man, because if you're going to run that drag route, you've got to put it on him and let him turn upfield. Instead, he waits until his receiver's too close.
And it's caught. Touchdown. Curtis Samuel in the final seconds of the first half. And the Beats will extend their lead here just before halftime. And this drive, Charles, very well timed as they score with very little time remaining in this first half.
And I'm reminded that they get the second half kickoff as well, so they can break this one wide open before the other guys have a chance to possess the football.
Boswell good with the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. Taken in at the 3. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the defense. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. And it bangs off the right upright, no good. So we reach. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The question to be asked, where does this game go from here as we are back at it now on EA Sports? And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So, CD, you talk about this football team, and some of the whispers and reports, the social media posts, they hint at a locker room that's splintered, badly splintered. There was talk earlier, some guys might walk away entirely, but that hasn't happened, however, at least to this point.
No, and sometimes some of that talk is just that. Talk. I mean, guys often say, that's it, I'm out of here. And then they realize, I'm not ready to retire yet. What am I going to do now? And they're really ready to come back and dive back in. In fact, we've got guys who are wearing gold jackets in the Hall of Fame that talked about retirement the last 6-7 years of their careers. So that's not always real. And sometimes you just have to go ahead and ride it out. And this is an opportunity now for everyone in this locker room to move forward.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Well, yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They'll roll him out right. Slings this deep for McLaurin. And, oh, that would get a wide-up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. Third down coming up.
Now that's a dangerous throw right there. Moving off to his right, throwing it all the way back across field to his left. I know he had a lot of confidence in his arm. But sometimes the ball can just hang up there when it goes that distance. He was fortunate it was just incomplete.
That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 26.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to fix.
And it's caught. Touchdown. Curtis Samuel, his second touchdown of the night. And the Beats are able to widen their advantage. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
A first down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there, so that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Second and 9 now. And this is caught by Evans. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Now we are keeping a close eye on his catches, a really close eye now, because that's number 899 in his career. The next one will give him 900. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been any. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On play action, it's Murray. And he will find his man, Samuel. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big connection on that one. 32 yards.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
Now they'll pitch it out here. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. The throw down the field, caught by his running back. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 18.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. Back now in Tampa. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Play fake. Murray steps away. And this is caught. Touchdown. Wait, hold a second here. A flag down. Let's see if this will stand.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So erase the red zone score. They'll have to dial that one up again.
And you know how difficult it is to strike in the red zone because things are a little bit more condensed. You got to go back to their play chart and see if they can dial up another one.
Toward the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Murray going to fire one out wide. Touchdown! A great play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Beats are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead is now 24. So the drive there took 6 plays. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Airing this one out for Evans. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. They'll set up to throw. He's got his tight end over the middle, O.J. Howard. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try.
And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. O.J. Howard, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bucs are able to cut into that deficit.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run. He finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Now the Bucs offense will stay out there as they'll go for 2.
Where's 52? Block 52.
They'll try and throw for it. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. It'll wind up being a huge loss on the play, and that's going to bring up a 2nd and forever. They fake the handoff. Now Murray. That's Samuel. Caught left side. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a third down.
And that last throw right there putting him already over 3,000 passing yards now for the campaign.
And given where we are in the season, Brandon, you have to think to yourself, if he stays healthy, I think 4,000's a given. I think 5,000 is not out of the question if he stays hot.
To throw, it's Murray. And this pass broken up.
Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
They're going for it. It's Murray. Taking a shot for Samuel. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A big... play that time through the air. 37 yards. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Here's Murray, a quick throw complete. Oh, now he's stripped. He lost the football.
Let's go. Let's stop him here.
And you wonder now if he might be able to remove the helmet, put on the baseball cap, and watch the rest of this one from the sideline. His 5th touchdown pass of the game.
Say that again. Did you say 5th touchdown pass of the game?
Yes, sir.
Boy, that's a heck of a performance, isn't it? Because they've had no answer for him at all game long. Receivers have been open constantly, and he hasn't missed a single one of them.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Taking it about the 1. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
The Bucs on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Airing this one out for Evans. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there. That brings up 4th.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Airing this one out for Evans. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
That's That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. I'm not sure what other ground there is to cover here. I mean, this offense has been amazing. Just total domination, Charles.
They've clicked so well, and if you really focus in on the offensive line.
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review of this game inside 2 minutes. So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the officials saw, as this play will stand as is. Extra point put through by Boswell, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff team on the field now, as they will send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Back now comes Tampa Bay. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. Just too much to handle on the other side in this one. Now a dump off here complete. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. 2nd down and 3. He'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. That's caught by Howard. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays. Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a 1st down.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Back to throw again. Airing this one out for Evans. And that is incomplete. I guess at this point, Charles, heck, why not take some shots?
I would agree with that totally, because a big play can't hurt at all. Heck, you might get a pass interference call out of it. Somehow the ball might get tipped up and you come down with it. Might not do too much for the result of the game, but it could add to your stats.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
And it's incomplete. And now we're down to 10 seconds. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Airing this one out for Evans. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. A big offensive explosion.